All right, tough loss for the Jayhawks here in the Delta Center tonight. Vahe, the defense just wasn't there for KU tonight. We've seen times where they struggled on defense, but Gonzaga had their way for 40 minutes.
They did, and look, it's hard to know. It's a little chicken and egg in a way, right? You can't make a shot, and then somebody's sagging. Gonzaga slicing and dicing. I don't know if I've ever seen a Bill Self coach team at the same time be less formidable offensively and virtually pile-ons on defense. It was really crazy. It really snowballed.
Yeah, let's talk about Hunter Dickinson. That's kind of how he's been, especially tonight. He was really good on offense, but they gave up a lot of open layups or open dunks on the defensive end. What does he need to we don't know if he's going to come back. If he does, where does he need to, or even if he doesn't, where does he need to grow his game?
Well, I think it's in one sense, you're right. I mean, we've seen some of this stuff all season. And in the other sense, I feel like, well, the guy's just back, second game after the shoulder dislocation. So I feel like But I feel like you see why maybe you don't think he's an NBA guy right now. I mean, I think you can see that. I do think there's a thin line between excuses and reasons, but I do think one of the consistent points that we could see in the second half today was they were a step behind on everything. Yeah. And I think the legs just went. And look, that I think is the core of what went wrong this season. They never did either recruit enough or cultivate enough depth.
That's what I wanted to ask you about roster construction.
Yeah.
Was this coaching staff maybe learned a lesson or tried to push their limits of how thin they could go? Because they basically played 6 guys tonight. I mean, Parker got in there a little bit and Jamari got in there when the game was over, but they basically rolled with 6 guys, including, like you said, a guy who just dislocated his shoulder. Yeah,
I think that's true, and I think Bill would be the first to say it. And after the game, we got talking a little bit about if he's already ready to look toward next season, and he made a comment basically saying, he's been thinking about that.
It broke the internet, but the context there is very important.
It is very important, and I think I haven't seen how the internet responded. I guess I can imagine, but if you were listening to the question and the full answer, the point wasn't I gave up on the season. The point was I see what our flaws are, and absolutely number one was you can't play with 6 guys. I think he thought that the attrition wouldn't grind them out totally, but the teams we've seen at Kansas for a generation now, a generation plus, don't fold. I don't want to say fold. That's not the right term, but they don't hinge on whether one guy gets hurt.
Right.
And yes, Kevin McCullough is their best player. Right. That hurts. They've been able to sustain that sort of blow in the past, win a couple games, get to the second weekend and see what happens. They just didn't have that.
Kansas could return 4 or 5 starters. There's been a lot of talk about spacing and the offense and how that works. Does Kansas want to return 4 or 5 starters? And if they do, what has to change? Because I think you'd agree you could roll out the same lineup and add in 1 or 2 guys, and unless those 2 guys are All-Americans, there's still going to be some issues.
Well, it's a really great question, and the joke used to be, for a bad team, the joke used to be, let's say a bad football team, the good news is they've got 19 to 22 starters back. The bad news is, they got 19 to 22 starters back. It's different here. Right. And it's about how the parts go together, which I think is the really complicated thing, and that's sort of by feel, and it's all the more of a complicated thing in the era of the portal, where coaches not only recruiting to get somebody to the program in the first place, then you're trying to figure out who's staying, who's going. At least per our reporting, Shreyas Laddha from the Star, mostly talking to people directly after the game. I think the thought is, we really only know 1 starter for sure is coming back, and that's DeJuan. Yeah. And the rest, there's a little air of mystery too, I think. And I can't get past the point you made, though, which is, who do you want to have come back? Because some things will lock you into a style of play, and some things will give you more flexibility. That was one thing that really stood out today too. When you turn to the bench, obviously there's not enough people there, but also there's not a stopper there. There's not a guy who's going to say, okay, we're going to put him in, he's going to stop that. There's not an instant offense guy. That's not there. So it's the components as well as the, just the overall deficiency of numbers.
Friend of the program, Flora Bedungle, will join the team next year. He's a block party, I'll tell you that. Maybe he's the stopper they need. Vahe, we appreciate your time, man. Safe travels back to Kansas City.
Great to be with you.
Thanks.